Now, millions of people are turning to TikTok to understand what's happening in Ukraine. It's why the White House invited 30 of the platform's biggest stars to a virtual briefing to answer their questions about the conflict and the role the U.S. is playing. Joining us now are two creators who attended that meeting, Jules Tirpak and Khalil Green. Good morning to both of you. We appreciate you being here. I'm really excited to get to ask you about this because it's just so interesting. Jules, I'm going to start with you. And I just want to know about the briefing. What did you hear from the White House, from other TikTokers? What was sort of their goal here to make sure you all walked away with?
Yeah, so the senior officials started the same way that I'll start out. This is obviously a gut-wrenching time for Ukrainians, their loved ones, and everyone around the world who's just observing and wants the situation to de-escalate. De-escalate was actually a major key word throughout the entire meeting. It's clear that the U.S. is making all decisions based off of the disinterest in having this become an expansive war, and they are continuously providing aid to Ukrainians. Over the past 2 weeks, there has been over $250 million in aid, economic, military, as well as humanitarian aid, and that will continue, just hoping to, again, de-escalate the situation. And they were really prominent about that.
So it sounds like kind of an overview of exactly what it is that the U.S. is doing. So now, Khalil, let me bring you in here. So first, you're known as the Gen Z historian. So we're living through quite an intense period, obviously, in history. So tell me, Jules just laid out exactly what you were told in terms of what the U.S. is doing. Now, what did that mean they want you all to do with that as TikTok creators? How will this White House briefing impact your videos and how you talk about the crisis in Ukraine on your TikTok account?
Yeah, I think we're definitely living in a historical moment. This is the first time you can watch a war play out on your phone. You can hear from the people who are experiencing the worst of it, their own documented stories in real time. And I think the White House was tapping into the fact that a lot of people right now are getting all of their information about Ukraine from TikTok, especially people in my generation. And I think their goal was for us to take information that they shared, of course, do our own fact checking and our own critical thinking, and then share our perspectives with the millions of audience members collectively that we have about this situation, so that they know that the information that they're getting is honest and verified.
So will you do that as you're creating new videos? Will you be thinking about what you learned in that briefing?
Yes, immediately after the briefing, I drafted a video and made a recap of the question that I was able to ask, as well as some of my thoughts about the answers that the press secretary gave us. And I think I also was able to draft so many more scripts that I might put out over the next few days about the situation based on what we experienced.
Interesting. Now, Jules, you've said that initiatives like this empower content creators to call out misinformation on TikTok. Let's dig into just how important that is, especially for our viewers who aren't on TikTok, who aren't in the platform. Explain what calling out misinformation looks like. Explain what that plays out like in a comment section, for example.
Yeah, so I think something I also want to make clear in this meeting is that seeing that TikTokers are meeting with the White House is a bizarre headline, but it wasn't the 15-year-old TikTokers that were at this meeting. The median age was likely 30, and we were all within the realm of whether it was commentary or reporting on current events or culture. So all creators here at this meeting already felt compelled to call out misinformation, but the internet is powerful and it is overwhelming. There's an overwhelming amount of information, especially on TikTok, where overnight a piece of content from a random creator who has never received reach before can go crazy, getting thousands, if not millions of views. So this meeting at a very high level just, again, made the United States initiatives very clear and made me confident in clarifying with my audience, whether it be in a comment section where they're feeling overwhelmed and they are not really understanding the motives of what is going on when it comes to these geopolitics. But it also gave me exposure to other creators that I can uplift in comment sections, because comment sections are a extremely important part of TikTok, and people who don't have the app don't necessarily understand this, but they are an extension of every single video. If you are watching more than 3 seconds of a video, you are clicking on that comment section. And at the end of the day, how the algorithm works is you are seeing those you follow will show up at the top of a comment section. So if I'm concerned about a piece of content's validity, I can refer them to an array of amazing creators who are actively reporting on this on TikTok. There are freelance journalists who hour by hour every day are reporting on the situation, and you should, of course, refer your audience to.
Jules and Khalil, really important stuff. It is so much part of the conversation. It was even a Saturday Night Live sketch this weekend, something that you both were a part of. Really important. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.